This evening, we are talking business planning. In fact, I'll take those off while I'm speaking because I can probably read my notes over there without them. Yes, we are talking business planning this evening, with obviously specific reference to baking businesses, because that's what we all have. So, you know, if you are serious about your baking business, and I say that because I know that not everybody, you know, wants an in-depth business that makes lots of profit, and they just want to go and bake, sell to a few people, and, you know, that's absolutely fine. But this session is really for people that really want to get their teeth into something really meaty, if you like, or cheesy, and really get a really profitable business going. And if you've got a profitable business going, how do you move it forward? How do you, you know, keep the momentum going? So we're going to be looking at 2024, because we're now in November. We're almost at the end of the year. And by the time we get to the end of the year, we really need to know exactly what we're going to be doing next year. We can't reach January and think, right, what shall I do then? It's got to be all there, really. It's got to be all decided. It's got to be all thought out so that you can hit the ground running. I hate that phrase, but you know what I mean, in January. So that is what we are thinking about this evening. Now, hang on, put my glasses on for this because I can't see. Right, I'm going to share my screen. Oh, hang on. Press the right buttons. That will help. Because I have a presentation for you. Yeah. Oh, no, not that one. Those are my taste. Oh, no, not that one. That one. Let's get rid of those. That was the winner of the cover competition in my lovely membership, which I'll tell you about in a minute. So I'm just going to minimize me up there. There we go. So business planning for your baking business. I will keep an eye on comments. So do pop any comments or questions in the chat, and I will try and answer them for you. So is it going to let me scroll? It is. So this evening, I'm just going to do a little bit about me for anyone that doesn't know who I am. If you're new to the group, if you're new to what's going on here, you might not know about me. Then I'm going to give you some business planning tips. I'm going to talk you through the basics of how I plan my business based on what I've learned from other business people. And the other people I've learned from, I don't think, oh no, perhaps one of them is a cake person, but most of them aren't involved in cake at all. They are business people who run, I mean, there's sales, there's PR, there's strategy, there's all sorts of things. My business colleagues run all sorts of different businesses, but I've learnt strategies and ways of doing things from them, and I've applied them to my baking business. So I'm going to talk you through how I do it based on what I've learnt from those experienced people. And then at the end, I'm going to tell you how you can learn even more and get some more help and extra guidance if this is something that you really want to do with your baking business. Okay. So first of all, a little bit about me. I was over 30 years in primary teaching. I was a head teacher at one point. I left that in about 2013 or so. And in 2014, I set up my baking business, Leading Lady Cakes. I did that alongside teaching part-time as well, a bit of supply teaching, a bit of this, bit of that. I traded at markets mainly to start with. I knew at that point that I wanted to make wedding cakes, but I hadn't really made any, and I wanted to learn how to do it. So in that time, I learned how to make sugar flowers. I learned all about royal icing. I learned about sugar paste. I learned about all sorts of things. And I did paid courses. I properly invested in it. I didn't just pick things up on YouTube, although YouTube is a brilliant place to get hints and tips and things from. I went on a course for each aspect of my business that I wanted to improve. I dabbled in and out of teaching a little bit in that time, but decided in 2019 that I actually wanted to do my business full time and set out a sort of exit strategy for teaching, if you like. And by that point, I was really concentrating on wedding cakes. I had almost a full diary in 2020, but we all know what happened in 2020. And that is when I set up this group and all my teaching, my business school. It wasn't called the business school to start with, it was called Annie Bennett Business. But I set that up in 2020. And that is actually when I really got to grips with business and met all my business colleagues that I have now, some of whom are quite good friends now. And I go all over the country, going to training days and conferences and all sorts of things, and up into London and all around, just to try and learn as much as I can about business. So what you're seeing now on the group that we're in now, this is about 3.5 years old now, and we've got, I think, over 9,000 people in here, which is fabulous. And it's a great group, and I'm very proud of it. The other things I've done, I'm a #1 best-selling author in the home business category, and that is for my food hygiene record book. I also have my handbook. I've got an order book. There's a planner, a recipe book. What's the other one? Income and expenses book. So I've got all sorts of books. Because I published one on Amazon, and then it got a bit addictive, and I've ended up with quite a few. But it's brilliant, actually, self-publishing on Amazon, because there's, apart from time, there's no upfront costs. So it's a great way to publish. I've also got my visibility. I've up-leveled that in the last 1.5 years. So I've featured in Hello Online, in Woman Magazine, Metro. I've actually written articles for Metro. Most recently, I was in Prima. These are on my wall. When I go back to the screen, you'll see them on my wall. I've appeared on BBC Radio, local radio, a couple of times. I've been their lunchtime guest and talked about my business and what I do. I went up to London with a wedding cake and talked on Times Radio one Friday evening. That was fun. And I've also been on Talk TV, mainly as in my ex-role as a head teacher. But that was great fun. I chatted to Trisha Goddard about AI in schools. That was great fun. I'm also a qualified bookkeeper. So I know my way around the tax system, and particularly for bakers, I can guide people, through their first tax year and tax self-assessment and things, particularly regarding sole traders, which is what most of us are when we first set up. And then also I am a trained soprano, which is why my business is called Leading Lady Cakes. And I love performing. I've performed ever since I was little. I've done musicals, I've done opera, and I'm currently involved in a Shakespeare group, which I absolutely love. I love Shakespeare, love. And in fact, I do some sessions with them on voice and production and things, because I'm I have vocal training. So my words aren't coming out. Vocal training, but I can't speak. So that's sort of a bit about me. I live in East Sussex. I've got two daughters, one of whom lives with me, one of whom doesn't. I've got 2 cats, and my daughter has just got a kitten who's a bit bonkers. So there we go. So you'll sort of see, if you follow me on Insta, I'll put the links up later. You'll find out a little bit more about all those things. So, oh, hello, Abby. Nice to see you're watching. So that's a little bit about me. So, yeah, I've always baked, but I haven't always had a baking business. But I know a lot you know, from my teaching and head teaching days, I do know a lot about planning and strategy. I know a lot about talking to customers, dealing with customers. There are certain aspects of my business that were completely new to me when I started, and certain aspects that came really easily because there were skills that I used when I was teaching. So that's a little bit about my background. So let's talk about business planning then. Let's talk about what we're doing. I'll just have a quick sip of tea. So first thing you've got to know about, or you've got to think about when you're business planning, particularly for 2024 and beyond, really, is you've got to know what the big picture is. You've got to know what it is you actually want to achieve. It's fairly common knowledge, particularly amongst, business circles, that those business owners and business leaders that have a really clear vision of what it is they actually want to achieve, they're the ones that are likely to be more successful because they're focused. They know where they're going. They know what they need to do. If you enter your baking business with, I just want to sell as many as I can, that's not giving you I really want to get this done. I really want to achieve this. I really want to do that. There's a real difference between just bumbling along, which is what I did when I first started my business. I bumbled along. But once you have I really want to achieve this, and I want to learn all I can, and I want to put everything in place to achieve this. And be specific. Oh, hello, Melanie. And it's not only business goals, because your business is going to potentially, it's going to fund other goals that you have. For example, if you're someone that loves going on holiday to hot places and you want to have a couple of holidays a year, is it your business that's going to fund that? Is it that you want to be able to, upgrade your car, or you want to improve your house or move house? Or is it that you want a certain, you want to have a gym membership and you want to be able to, go out to nice restaurants a couple of times a month? All those kind of things. Go up to see a show in London. I'd love to go and see the opera more often, but I never have time. But those kind of things are things that potentially your business can pay for, but you've got to know what they are. Not just, I want, I just want to do nice things and I need a bit of money for it. Have specific things in mind. I have on my wall behind my computer a picture of a holiday destination in Sicily, actually, because I went this year and I'd love to go again next year. So, I would like to have a week in Sicily next year. I've priced it out, so I know exactly how much I need to be able to do that, and I'm going to put it into my business plan to make sure that I get the money to be able to pay for it. It's that kind of thing you need to be really specific about. So have your goals, what it is you want to achieve, and then work out how much money you're going to need for those goals. Actually have a figure for those. So as a week's holiday. For me, I'm on my own. I haven't got any family to take with me, but I love going on my own, so it's not a problem. So about 1,000, I'd say, for that, for a decent week somewhere. Perhaps 1,500 if I want to go and do extra things while I'm there. So that's the figure that I'm going to put into my business plan that I want to be able to get to. I want my business to be able to pay for that. Okay. So know what it is you want to achieve. The next step then is to look at what your business actually does. Know what it is that you're going to be offering your audience. the one thing that I do at the end of the year is I look at all the products and all the services that I've offered during the year. For me, it's also, you know, my training courses and things as well. But you know, if you're a baker, what products have you worked on this year? Just list everything that you've sold. I mean, it could be, you know, don't list every single cake, but, you know, you had Halloween products. What were your Halloween products? You know, you offered cupcakes, you offered brownies, you offered this, that, and the other. And do it during the year. Did you offer birthday cakes? Did you offer wedding cakes? Did you offer postal things? Did you offer, you know, some of you do toppers and edible prints and those kind of things. List everything that you do. And then the idea is that you look at that list and you perhaps tick everything. Yeah, I want to do that again next year. I love doing that. That was great. Tick everything that was quite profitable for you. Yeah, brilliant. I'm going to do that again. And then cross out anything you either didn't make any profit on or that you really didn't enjoy doing and made your life quite stressful. So I know for some people it's things like tiered cakes, you know, wedding cakes. I've seen some lovely cakes in the group, but, you know, people will post them and say, oh, I'm not doing that again. That was so stressful. And it might be that actually, yes, you do want to do wedding cakes, but you want how to do a bit more learning so that they're not so stressful. So decide on the products that you're going to be offering next year, and then decide on any new products. What are you going to bring in new to your business? Because things that you bring in new, you're going to need to think about a launch strategy for. I talked about launching last month, and you'll find that on my YouTube channel. So look at your products, look at what your business actually offers. It may be that you want to start, I don't know, doing training courses, do in-person training courses. If your home is big enough, but then you've got to think, you know, you've got to obviously do it properly because you've got to think about your insurance and all those kind of things. But if that's something you want to do, that's, you know, you can put that down as, yeah, I'd love to do that, and I'll work out how I'm going to do it, you know, in the next couple of months. So decide on what it is you want to be doing. Next thing is really important, and to be honest, I don't think enough people do this. You've got to know your costs. You've got to know how much it costs you to run your business, because if you don't, then you are in danger of not only not making any money, but you're in danger of losing money. So you've got to list all your overheads. And I've put not specific product costs. So don't include things like cake drums and cupcake cases, because those are related to specific products. Your overheads. So your energy, gas, electricity, your phone, your broadband, your water, your this, that, and the other. I do have a video on YouTube. If you go onto my YouTube channel, I'll give you the link at the end. I do a session on overheads and how to work them out. So you're working from home, you can put a percentage of those overheads, the domestic overheads, you can have a percentage of those that are paid for by your business. Okay. But you've got to know how much your business costs. You know, I have a website, so I have to put my website cost in there, hosting cost, my email cost, because I have a, you know, at Leading Lady Cakes email and at an anniebennett.co.uk email. In fact, I've got two emails. I have a membership platform where all my courses go on. I have to pay for that. There's all sorts of things, you know, your insurance, any advertising, anything that's not tied to a specific product that is a sort of across the board, you've got to list. So you've got to know how much money is going out of your business. And then you've got to decide, or you've got to look at, what is the actual figure? This is tied to the first one. What do you want to achieve? Get yourself an actual figure of money that you need your business to bring in. So how much income you either need to cover everything, or that you want. Do you want to your business to pay for extras, holidays, home improvements, whatever it is? Okay. And once you have that figure, you can then price accurately, because your pricing, if it's done properly, will make sure that all those overheads are paid for and you're not ending up out of pocket. Okay. There are videos on my YouTube channel that talk about pricing. I bang on about pricing all the time. I'm really quite, I want to use the word passionate, but that seems a bit funny, doesn't it? I'm really, really passionate about making businesses pricing accurately and not just plucking figures out of the air. There are apps that will help you price. I know a lot of people use, is it Cost app, which I know some people swear by. But I've had a look at it, and it doesn't calculate your overheads for you. From what I could see, you have to put in an overheads figure, but if that's off the top of your head, it's no good. You've got to actually know what your figures are. You've got to know what your overheads are. So pricing accurately, you've got to make sure that you do that. Ooh. Then once you've done all those things, you can then work out your sales targets based on the income that you want in and the costs of all your products. So, for example, let me just imagine some numbers just so that I can give you an idea. Let's say that in my business, I need to have an income of £1,500 a month to cover my costs and to give me, a nice, comfortable cushion of money to live on, to go out occasionally and those kind of things. So £1,500 I need. So what do I need to sell in a month to bring that in? It might be 3 wedding cakes. Because I have my books on Amazon and my training courses and so on and so forth. It might be a mixture of, well, I need to sell so many books, I need to sell so many courses, and I need to sell so many wedding cakes. That's what I'm aiming to sell per month on average. Okay. And if I sell that many, I will then get the income that I need for what I need to do. Okay. Then the next step is to, oh, hello, eye candy cakes. Nice to see you. Is to look at the year ahead. So however your brain works, and I'm very visual, and what I do is I get a piece of A3 paper, fairly big paper, and I fold it into 12 sections, and I put January, February, March, April, yada, yada, yada. And I put on there, first of all, times that I'm not available. So times that I want to take a holiday, times that I'm going to be away, birthdays of family, whatever it is. It may be that, if you've got small children, you want to block out most of August. You might want to have August with your family, or half terms, or whatever it is. Put in Easter. I think Easter next year is end of March. It's a little bit earlier next year. So put that in. And then map out what you're going to be doing each month. If you're a seasonal bake, so if you do Mother's Day, if you do, Halloween, Father's Day, Christmas, whatever else, put those in, so that you can then see when it is you need to start launching those things. And again, look at my launching info, either in this group in the guides, or it's on my YouTube channel, because if you do it with a year's overview, you can then see, right, I need to start thinking about Halloween in, you know, in the middle of September or whatever it is. Okay, and you can see at a glance what you've got and what your busy times are, because the worst thing is to suddenly realize that you've said yes to hundreds of things in the next 3 weeks, and you're not going to have time for any of it. Whereas if you look at the overview of the year right at the beginning of the year, you can say, all right, I can't do too many more things in that month because, you know, I've got children's birthdays, I've got, you know, there's half term, there's whatever it is. So you know when you're not going to be available to be, you know, making things and fulfilling orders. If you're someone that goes to events and markets, put those in on that plan so that you can see when you're going to be busy. Then if you do regular markets every week or every 2 weeks or every month, whatever, put those in, put everything in that you're going to be doing. So you've got an overview of your year. You can block out times you're not available and put in, you know, when you're going to launch things. Once you've done everything that you normally do, you can then, right, I want to launch this new thing. I want to do a new thing. When am I going to do it? And because you've sorted out your year with everything that you've done before, you can then think, right, okay, well, that month there, I haven't got much in that month. That would be a great month to launch a new thing. You know, perhaps you want to start your children's baking classes or whatever it is. That would be a great month to do it. Okay. And then once you know what it is you're going to be doing each month, you can then work out what your monthly or weekly, it depends really what you do, whether you do it monthly or weekly, what your targets are. So, for example, if you're going to have most of August off because you're going to be with your family, you're not going to want to have a target in August. You're going to want to take August out of the mix and spread what it would have been across the other months. Okay. You know, in it's March, isn't it, Mother's Day? In March, I'm going to really go for Mother's Day. So I'm going to, you know, aim to get a lot of my annual income in that month. That's what I'm going to be really, you know, working hard on. So you have an overview then of what it is you're doing. You're only doing products that you really like doing. You're getting rid of anything that wasn't profitable. You have to be quite business head about this. There might be things, and I've done this before, there are things that I've just loved doing. I think, oh, well, I want to do them because I love doing them. Don't make any money. So you're actually doing your business a disservice by doing them, because you're taking time away from the things that will bring income into your business. So you have to think really carefully about doing things like that. You know, if you are going to be, for example, supporting a certain charity, really know during the year, have targets of how much money you want to raise for that charity. Are you going to do a specific event for that charity? Are you going to give a percentage of a profit of a certain product, for example, for that charity? Plan it all ahead, because the more you plan and the more you price accurately, including profit, the more you are then able to support, you know, community things and charity things. Okay, but it's all got to be part of your whole business vision, if you like. Okay. So that is what I do. I will be doing that for my business in the next couple of months. I try to get most of my business planning done in a couple of days if I can. I try and do it all at once. I get rid of anything else that I've got to do that I usually do. And I just concentrate on my business planning, because I find I get more out of it the more in depth that I get with it, and the more I'm able to think about it and write ideas down on paper and all sorts of things. And my brain gets into gear. I come up with a lot more ideas and a lot more, I'm a lot more focused. So that's what I do. So once you've got all that, you'll then have a monthly or a weekly or both target. And then the next step, I'm not going to talk about these today, but this is what you need to be able to do. You've got to work out how you're going to achieve those things. Okay, you've got to work out strategies. Two, mainly your visibility. How are you going to tell people about what you do? You've got to create an audience. You've got to create an engaged audience. You've got to build and grow. You've got to get new people in. You've got to keep regular customers, and you've got to get new people in. How are you going to do that? What's your strategy for that? If your strategy, dare I say, is just posting your cakes on social media and going, oh, I've got this for sale, you've got to think again, because that doesn't work. You've got to have a real strategy of what you're posting and when. And then you've got to have a sales strategy. How do you respond to inquiries? How do you follow up? How many times do you follow up? I have lots of business colleagues who are sales experts, and they all say, without exception, that following up, you've got to do at least 5 times. So if you've sent someone a quote and they don't reply, you don't just ignore it. You follow up. Oh, you got my quote. What did you think? And if they don't reply, you follow up again. And there are ways and strategies and things you can say and things that you can do to encourage people to respond to you. There are some figures actually regarding, following up emails, that 80% of sales come from the 5th follow-up or something like that. It's quite incredible. So you've got to think about, how you respond to inquiries and how you follow that up. And then getting repeat customers as well. There are certain ways of making sure that, you have a system whereby you contact customers to remind them that there's a birthday coming up. Those kind of things. There's all sorts of things that you can do to get repeat business. So you've got to have all that in place. You can't just be mumbling along and just doing things when they happen. You've got to be proactive. You've got to be energetic in your business and proactive, and know where you're going and know what it is that you want to be doing. That is how you make a profit. And you've got to price properly, because I see it all the time. People get disillusioned, they get fed up, they get demotivated. And the main reason that happens is that they haven't priced properly, so they're not making any money. So they can't then go on to do what it is they want to be able to do. They can't have that nice holiday. They can't take a couple of days off. They can't, because they haven't priced properly. So you've got to price properly. Oh, hello, Nicoletta. What a fabulous name you have. Nicoletta Carmen. Fabulous. So that, in a nutshell, my dears, is how we go about business planning. Now, obviously, there is so much in this. There is so much information that I would love to give you, but A, we haven't got time, and B, I run a business as well. So there's only so much I can give you for free. But there are ways, if you want to be really getting seriously into this, there are a couple of ways that I can help you further. And these are some of them. So in a couple of weeks, it's about 2.5 weeks now, Sunday the 19th of November in London. I have my event, which is called Rise Together. It is a day for baking business owners to get together, to share ideas, to share experience, to get advice on things. But the main point of the day, in the afternoon, we're going to be business planning. So all the steps that I've just talked you through, we're going to be going through that afternoon. So we've got a few hours where we can really sit down and we can together, and I can guide you with what I know about business planning, to get your businesses, get your plans in place, get your strategies. We'll talk a bit about visibility strategies. We'll talk about sales strategies. So you'll leave the day really, really knowing where it is you're going with your business. Okay, in fact, I'll talk about Rise Together a little bit more in a second. We've also got my membership, which is the Home Baking Professionals Society. Everything that I've talked about this evening, it's either in the membership already as training, or we're going to be covering it. So, for example, December, we're going to be looking at planning and strategy. And I'm going to be giving an awful lot more input on that, so that all the members can be starting 2024 really knowing where they're going. And I also have some new formats for my courses. There's Start Your Own Baking Business. So for anyone, I've just realised there's not a capital B on baking. That's really annoying. Anyone who's not set up yet, you've not, perhaps you haven't registered, you haven't had a kitchen inspection, but you need some information on that. There's Start Your Own Baking Business, and there's also Grow Your Own Baking Business. So let me just talk you through very quickly. This is Rise Together. I've talked about that already a little bit. So meeting other baking business owners, sharing experiences, creating a 2024 business plan, setting goals and targets, and drafting a strategy. I will be there to guide you and help you with all that. The course, the day includes any resources, materials, workbooks. I'll give you templates. I'll give you all sorts of bits and pieces, and lunch and refreshments and tea and coffee and things are included during the day. There's only a handful of places left, and I don't just say that to make it sound to make you buy. There really are only a handful of places left on that. So if you go to anniebennett.co.uk, in fact, you can either go to this address here or just go to anniebennett.co.uk, and the link is on the front page. You'll see it as soon as you go in there. So if you want to put together your plan for 2024, come on that day, because it's going to be fabulous, and you're going to leave the day knowing exactly what it is that you want to do for 2024. Okay, so that's Rise Together. My membership, the Home Baking Professionals Society, my lovely, lovely membership. It's an online membership. So we've got a members only portal. That sounds very posh, doesn't it? A portal. It's basically a website where all the trainings are. Loads and loads of trainings. I've had the membership for about 3 years. So there's loads and loads of trainings. There's also a private Facebook group where we chat, and we, I put reminders in and I put tips in and all sorts of things. If you go onto the website, there's in-depth training on pricing. There's templates and all sorts. Social media strategy, sales. Had a lot on sales. A couple of months ago, we had a sales month. So we had an awful lot of that. This month, we're talking about visibility quite a bit. How to get your business seen. And December is going to be planning and strategy month. So if you're unable to come to Rise Together, you're unable to come to London, but you want support and help with your business and with your strategy, come and join the society, because it'll all be in there. All the training, all the support you'll need is going to be in there. You can pay monthly as you go. So if you want to just sign up for a month and see how it goes, But if you sign up for 6 months or 12 months, there are discounts. And if you do sign up for 12 months, there's a welcome gift box as well. All the details are on the website, annybennett.co.uk, register HBP Society. Or just go on to annybennett.co.uk and there's a link on the front page somewhere. So that is my membership. It's lovely. Come and join. Come and join us. Come and join us. I would love to see you there. And then my courses. Quickly, I've just rejiggled, put a few different options in. So start your own baking business. I did it live last month. So all the recordings are now there, sitting there, ready for new people to come and access all these things here, including an in-depth look at the Safer Food, Better Business for kitchen inspections. I go through that page by page. You know, finances, how to set your finances up, what to expect with tax, all that kind of stuff. So you can either just have the recordings, or you can upgrade a little bit and go for the 3-month Facebook support as well. 2 different prices for those. So that's people that are sort of starting up. If you're wanting to grow, particularly if you want to go into wedding cakes, although when I did the course last month, not everyone was really wanting wedding cakes. They just wanted to up-level their businesses. I'm going to be doing an online live day on Sunday, the 10th of December. You'll be able to access all the sessions by Zoom. Come to all of them, or some of them, or watch them afterwards. They'll all be put on the course website that you'll have access to if you buy. You'll be able to watch them all. We'll also have a Facebook group so that I can support you for 3 months. You can ask any questions. I can help you with what you're doing and where you're going with that. And those you can find on annybennett.co.uk. In the top menu, you'll find courses. So go into there and you'll find these options there. Okie dokie. So there we go. We've come to the end now. So watch out for posts in this group, in the Home Baking Business Community Group. There'll be some posts coming in at 8 with the different links for the different things. So for Rise Together, for the Start Your Own Baking Business and Grow Your Own Baking Business. And I'll also, in the featured, I think there's a link to the membership. Or on my socials, LL Cakes, Leading Lady Cakes _ Business School on Insta, or on Facebook, LL Cakes Business School. On YouTube, it's at LL Cakes Business School. Or if you just look up Leading Lady Cakes, that's my wedding cake account, and you can find a link for the business school there. If you want to join my email list, so I try and email out every Sunday if I can. Doesn't always happen, but I do try. I do a newsletter every month, which has, you know, updates from the food agency and HMRC and recommended people to follow and those kind of things. So really useful information. Plus I send through some offers. I'll give you the heads up on new things when they're happening, that kind of thing. Again, it's on the front page of the homepage of my Annie Bennett website. So you can just go to annybennett.co.uk, scroll down and you'll see the subscribe box in there. Okie dokie. So that is it for the evening. Let me stop sharing. Bring you back. Hello. So there we go. I hope you found that useful. If you've been watching on replay, please do let me know how you got on with it. And do let me know if you know, things that you put into place. Because I'm, more than happy to help. But I really recommend, if you're really serious about your business and you're a little bit at sea like I was, when I first started my business, I didn't really know where to go. I didn't really know what to do. Then either come on Rise Together in a couple of weeks in London, if you can get to that, or join my membership, because in there, wherever you are in the country, you will be able to access all the training. My monthly, I go on live every week and talk to everyone, answer questions if there are any, that kind of thing. And you'll be able to get loads and loads of info and support from there. And then have a look at my courses as well, because there's an aspect of business planning in my courses too. So there's lots of help there for you. Okay. So there we go. That's it for now. I hope you've enjoyed this evening. What is the time? Gosh, 10 to 8. My dinner's nearly ready. My daughter's making tea. It's great. I hope you've enjoyed this evening. Do let me know. Give me some feedback as to, what you thought and what's useful and what you're going to be doing, because I love to know about these things. And I will be back in December. I don't know what I'm going to be doing in December yet. Haven't decided. But I will come in live and do a session during December on something. If you can think of anything you'd like, then let me know and I'll see what I can do. But yes, so have a lovely evening. Have a lovely week. Do look out in the group for my posts that are coming out. I think 8 o'clock I programmed them for. So you'll be able to go onto my website and have a look at more details of the things that I've been talking about this evening. And this video is going to be put in the guides of the group, and it's also going to be put onto my YouTube channel as well. So if you want to rewatch, if you're a glutton for punishment, then you can have another look. But my YouTube channel's got all sorts of other things on it as well that are quite useful. So there we go. So thank you for joining me, those that have joined me. It's really nice to see you here. And I will see you again next month, whenever it will be. Watch this space for dates and things. All right. Take care then. Bye-bye.